Hey, that's how the theme song goes. Welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. And if you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. It's a website. Go there. I'm going to start off right now. I'm going to be real. Very real. I am not feeling this today. I don't want to record. I actually don't want to do anything. I didn't even want to go to the gym this morning. It's the day before the podcast usually comes out. And, honestly, I'm just not feeling anything. I don't want to go to my crappy minimum wage job. I don't want to go to another crappy minimum wage job after that. And I just want to stay home and not do anything. But that's not how money is made, because you need money to live. And that's how our society works. It's just, I have these days every now and then, and it's not anything serious. It's just, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if it's serious. I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. I just don't want to be. I don't want anything. I just want. Sometimes I look, and I know this isn't smart, and I know this isn't healthy, but sometimes I look and I see my friends doing these great, amazing things, going places, hanging out with people, visiting, and all this stuff. And then, I see it on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Pinterests, all the YouTubes. What do people, Snapchats, MySpace, Vine, two of those things are out. Sometimes I see that, and while I'm very happy for them, I am very jealous, because here I am in my childhood home, working for $8 an hour, and then also serving food as well, and then writing on a website for seemingly no one, for the 7 people that subscribe to this, for the 89, including me, 88 people. I'll take myself out of that equation. 88 people that subscribe to the YouTube page. It seems like I am doing it for no one, when in reality I'm actually doing it for myself. But I am insanely jealous that everybody else is doing these great things. And then I am struggling to even make sense of my life and what it is that I'm going to do. I understand it's not healthy. I shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, blah. But whatever. I'm in this emotion right now, and I kind of want to feel it. All my friends are getting married. Everybody is moving away and has these great jobs. And again, I am still stuck in a perpetual loop. I feel like I'm in the good place, except I'm in Mindy St. Clair's the middle place. But except I don't have. I mean, obviously, I have more than what she has there. Like, she has the same movie that she can only watch, the same one tape movie that she can only watch. And she has no one there, and she has like one meal or something. I don't know. Anyway, and that's how it feels. And that's how it feels right now. And I'm just so bored. Yeah, I'm just sitting here in these compression shorts. I got nothing on except for I put a shirt on because I felt I needed to, as if I have a camera on me. I felt that I needed to put a shirt on, at least, to the very least. I took a shower, I think like I did. I know I did. Like 3 hours ago after I got home from the gym, and I just didn't want to put any clothes on because, I can afford that because I'm not doing anything during the day until I get to both of my jobs, and I just want to not do them. God, I hate it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb because I know something good's going to happen at some point, but right now I'm just so down on myself. I don't feel good. It's not that I'm sick. I just don't want to do, like I said, I don't want to do anything, but here we are. So let's get on with it. I was writing the news time for this week, that came out today. If you're listening to the podcast, it came out yesterday. I was writing the news time for that came out today, and I wrote it last Wednesday or Thursday. And I was, and Robert Kirkman has mentioned it in his deal with Amazon. And I was just thinking for a very hot second, what if AMC has The Walking Dead on there are 16 episodes in both of their Walking Dead shows, which is Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. And I don't watch the show anymore, but I haven't watched since like season 3, but I was thinking, what if they really want to do this is the highest rated show on cable, besides Game of Thrones. If they really wanted to do this, then they could have The Walking Dead airs from I believe, October until December for 8 weeks, and then they go off for a couple weeks, and then they return in the spring for 8 more weeks. What they could do is, and then Fear the Walking Dead comes on during the summer, and I think that's like 8 to 16 episodes. I'm not entirely sure, but what they could do is, if they want to have Walking Dead on for perpetually the entire year, they could do an anthology series. Anthology series are very popular right now. Everybody is doing an anthology series. Everyone, even the Paramount Network, is doing an anthology series. Waco. So what they could do is they could take The Walking Dead, do an anthology series that's essentially Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, but with the different characters that pop up before the show, after the apocalypse, the characters that disappear and go off and do their own thing for a couple episodes. They could totally do that, and they could get away with it. They could, and then that could air from I don't know, the beginning from let's see, do what the CW does with some of its shows. So CW right now has Supergirl's off the air, and they're doing, I think they're finishing out the run for Legends of Tomorrow. Is that what this show's called? Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Legends of Tomorrow. So they have everybody. So they have a Legend of Tomorrow airing on Mondays now, and I think Valor is going off the air as well, because I think that's only a 10-episode series or something like that. And they're gonna have, I think, iZombie come in on Mondays as well. So AMC can employ that for the Walking Dead anthology series. They can call it the Walking Dead anthology series. They could have Walking Dead in October, that goes off in December. They could have this show, the Walking Dead anthology series, go from, and I understand that, you know, during Christmas and New Year's there's no new shows, but you can always take that break. So then for a couple of weeks they can have the Walking Dead anthology series, and then have, when winter comes around, that goes off for a little bit, and then it starts back up, I don't know, in January or February, and then January, February, and then Walking Dead comes on regular, and then of course you got The Walking Dead, then Talking Dead, then The Walking Dead finally goes off, bring back the anthology series, and then like a month break between Fear the Walking Dead, and the Fear the Walking Dead airs for 10 to 16 weeks, however long it is, and then it's a couple of months, like if that ends in August, it's a couple of months until the new Walking Dead. I'm just giving them a new idea. They can have that. AMC, if you're listening to this, you can have that idea, because that's and think of all the stories they could tell. They could tell a Glenn story. Glenn died, didn't he? Good Lord. They could bring back Glenn for an episode. They could tell his story before he met up with the people in the caravan. They could tell his story before when he was just living as a regular guy in the regular world, and with only hints of the Walking Dead happening. They could tell, they could take characters from the Fear the Walking Dead. I understand that's a pre-apocalypse show, or like the pre what it is now apocalypse show, but they could definitely tell what they're going to look like in the future. It's so many things they could do. They could do an anthology series. They really can. And I've never seen Fear the Walking Dead. This might be an anthology series. So I'm just putting it all out there. It is also this week. What happened this weekend was the All-Star Weekend. NBA All-Star Weekend is a good weekend. And it gave me an idea for a future story. I'm gonna bring up real quick. I have a schedule for news time, where I write down what I'm going to do for the stories and everything for the story that week, and for the story in a couple of weeks. You know, I have everything planned out until March 5th. So I need to get up on that. So an example is, it's just a Google Doc that says scheduling ideas, and then I have episode schedule, then episode ideas, and then far future episodes, the stuff that's going to happen in, I think, about a year from now. So yeah, I have this planned out for a year. Who knows if I'm going to do this for another, who knows if I'm going to do any of this for another year. So anyway, I got, so February 19th, for example, it just says February 19th episode is in bold, and then the regular text, Netflix's deal with Ryan Murphy. And then I have links out to New York Times, The Ringer, Variety, Deadline, The Atlantic, Bloomberg, Variety again, and The Hollywood Reporter. And now it's just talking about, and those are all different things, talking about Shonda Rhimes going to Netflix, or Robert Kirkman going to going to Amazon. That was me slapping my very thick legs. so that's how the things look. That's how the schedule looks. And then so I was watching all I had to say is I was watching the NBA All-Star Weekend, and just like this year, how I did an episode about the Super Bowl halftime show, which is a big cultural event for news time. I'm doing an All-Star game cultural event episode for what's it called, for news time again. So there you go. So I can't not wait to make that. I do have a lot of references ready to go. So there we are. But anyway, it was good. It was a good weekend. This is a lot of the thing I have an issue with. A lot of outlets writing about how the All-Star game sucks and no one likes it and it's boring and they don't treat it like it's a real game. Blah blah blah. Last night's game was I had a fun time. And every year, I don't know if I ever said this before, but I am a sucker for ensemble pieces. So any TV show, any movie, you tell me there's a lot of people in it, a lot of famous people in it, and I'm gonna watch it. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Just the thought of having everybody in one room is just so cool. That's why I like the Oscars and the Emmys and the Golden Globes, not the Grammys, because the Grammys suck. The Grammys really do blow. But the NBA All-Star Weekend, NHL All-Star Game, I'll watch that. I'll watch that for a second. Baseball All-Star stuff, like the Home Run Derby and all that stuff. All-Star Game. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else. Pro Bowl. I love it. Man, it's all great. So NBA All-Star Weekend was good. The dunk contest was a little left to be desired. The celebrity game was okay. There wasn't. They have the kid from Blackish. Anthony Anderson was in there too. I think the kid's name is Miles. They had Bieber was there. He didn't really do much. Quavo really went off. I can't believe that he did that. Rachel Demita was there. Katie Nolan was not hosting, coaching. It was fun. It was an all-in-all safe weekend full of really cool activities. And then I watched some of the college kids play the game, although I'm not into college basketball. I don't know. It's just college basketball is not good to me. Why? Again, college sports. Why watch somebody that young do something? That's just a haphazard way of looking. Not haphazard. It's not a good way of looking at things. Why are they doing well? Again, it goes back to the first 3 minutes of this episode where I just don't feel like doing this, or feel like doing anything. What is? Oh, okay. So I've just gotten back. I'm looking at my notes. I just got back into watching New Girl again, watching the episodes I didn't watch because I am so angry. I have this thing where I hate when they put the main characters together for any show. Why would but the thing is, I mean, I'm not just putting them together, but putting them together and then taking them apart and then doing a whole will they won't they scenario. I don't like that. It's wasting my time. I've said that before and I'll say it again. It is wasting my time. Do not do it. New Girl, in this instance, has done it in every episode, every single episode for 7 seasons, for 6 seasons. 7 seasons, not the 7th season has not aired yet, but for 6 seasons straight, they have done this, and I'm sick of it, and I hate it. And it's made me not like Zooey Deschanel, and I'm kind of not liking Jack Johnson at some points. They put their 2 characters together. Sometimes they hint at it, sometimes they don't. And then they go for real good stretches, like in the 6th season where Jess is dating somebody else and Nick's dating somebody else, and they don't care and no one mentions that they dated. And it feels so good. And that's when the show's firing on all cylinders. That's because I think New Girl is a very funny show. It's managed to get one of the best casts out there, especially Zoe Deschanel, because she's okay. But it's managed to get one of the best casts out there, and some of the funniest people, some of the funniest supporting and guest characters I've seen on television, like the Mindy Project. Again, but then you waste my time with this will they won't they crap between 2 different characters. Don't do that. Don't waste my time. That makes me so mad. I've already seen Ross and Rachel. All right, I don't need to see it in 7 other shows every pilot season. I was going to say every year, but that didn't make sense. Every pilot season. It happens on too many shows. And too many shows get... This is why the show that I'm writing, I don't want it to happen in that show. So I did do it. I'm not going to lie. I did do it. And then for I've already planned out, and I may or may not have written 24 episodes of the show. But I did. That's what I'm laughing about. I did, and no one's gonna read them. But I wrote the first season's like 6 episodes of the show that I wrote, and in the 5th episode, something happens between the main character, which is me, and my girlfriend, who does exist, and she leaves me, and then this girl that I've had this will they won't they thing, who I dated before. Again, this is all fiction because. It's all fiction because I've never dated 2 women before. The girl I dated before thinks that she has a chance, and it turns out she doesn't. I'm really rooting the entire thing, but of course it's not going to happen. So she thinks she has a chance, and it doesn't happen. And then essentially the rest of the show from that point on, again, because I've written 24 episodes, so 18 episodes after that, the rest of the show from that point on. Oh my God, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to pause this really quick. Give me 1 second. Well, that was really unprofessional of me. You know what? I'm not going to edit any part of this. None of this is going to get edited. I just received a phone call. That's the second. This is weird. 2 phone calls in the past 20, not even 24 hours, in the past, I would say 12 hours of me just getting 2 different phone calls from 2 different people who I've never spoken to on the phone. I'm not mad. I love the idea that this is happening. This is like I'm gonna make this akin to when you're watching a show and a character. So you're watching New Girl, like for instance, we were just talking about New Girl. You're watching New Girl, and they bring Steve Agee in to do Outside Dave again, and suddenly he's part of the subplot. That's crazy. Anyway, so what was I talking about? So yeah, I don't want to see Ross and Rachel again. So anyway. But New Girl, the entire thing was just me rambling about that. But New Girl and Mindy Project, and I would even go so far as to say Friends. They have these. It's weird to watch that show and then see somebody like on Friends. There's a Thanksgiving episode in season 8, I believe, where Brad Pitt pops up, and he's a character that hated Monica and Rachel, hated Rachel because they were popular. They used to make fun of him. He used to be fat, and now he's hot. And he pops up. So Brad Pitt is in that episode, and I remember listening to the commentary track of that episode. And going I think it was Marta Kaufman said that, the creator of the show, said that the studio audience clapped for so long they had to edit it down. That is so crazy. So Brad Pitt's in an episode of Friends, and then the episode I just watch random episodes of New Girl, so as to just to avoid seeing Nick and Jess again. But there's one episode where it's talking about the last wedding, and the entire group goes to a friend's wedding, and Jessica Biel's in the episode, and I understand Jessica Biel's not the biggest actor in the world, but it's Jessica Biel. Like she stars in movies. Why is she in this show? Like, why would she pop up in the show? And then same thing for Mindy Project. You see somebody who is just so big just pop up in the show. I can't even think right now, but I'm looking at I'm on the New Girl character Wikipedia. Mary Elizabeth Ellis is a big. Justin Long, who Justin Long pops up. Lizzie Kaplan, she used to be a TV actor, so that stands to make sense. Josh Gad, he was in 3 seasons of New Girl. Rob Reiner's still huge to me. Olivia Munn was in the 2nd season of New Girl. This is crazy, and I have my issues with Olivia Munn, but this is crazy. Linda Cardinelli, she's more of a she started out as TV, and then she went to movies, and now she's TV again. But Megan Fox in New Girl. It's so weird to me to see people do it. And I understand that there's this thought like you shouldn't, if you're very famous, you shouldn't do TV, but that is so cool to see these people pop up and then come back and disappear and all this stuff. And so here's Mindy Project. They had Joanna Garcia Swisher. I understand that she's not the most famous person in the world. Is she not married to? Oh, she's still married. Okay, well, darn. Let's see. Joanna Garcia. I understand she's not the most famous person in the world, but again, seeing them pop up is very, very. You get surprised. Let's see who else. Anna Ortiz. That was cool. Oh my God, there's not as many as I thought. This is all just character actors from television. Am I crazy? Did I not understand how this works? Anyway. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, so anyway, it's Will Ferrell on The Office, Eastbound and Down. I know he co-created Eastbound and Down, but I always think it's so weird to see somebody pop up, somebody so famous pop up. Eastbound and Down is an HBO show starring Danny McBride, but Will Ferrell was in it. Will Ferrell. Speaking of which, Daddy's Home 2 is on DVD, and having seen Daddy's Home 1, I'm not a completionist, but I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a third Daddy's Home, and I kind of want to see Daddy's Home 2, but then there's the issue of Mel Gibson. He said things, and apparently we either forgive him or hate him forever. It's very strange. I think Will Ferrell's great, though. I was listening to a podcast this morning called Dead Pilot Society. It comes out, I think, like once a month or something like that. It's a live show / podcast hybrid wherein the hosts, I think it is Acker and Blacker, Ben Acker and Ben Blacker. I don't actually know. I think I'm wrong. Who does Dead Pilot? I know Ben Blacker, Dead Pilot Society, please, Chad. I know Ben Blacker is the one that hosts it. It's a great resource for people who want that. Dead Pilot Society and the Writers Panel are great resources. If you want to be a writer, then go ahead and listen to it. I was wrong. It's Ben Blacker and Andrew Reich. Is that his name? I don't know these things. Andrew Reich? That can't be Andrew Reich. That might be right. That might be the best one to say. And they host a show, and it's a live show. And what they do is they get somebody's pilot that they wrote a couple of years ago, and then and what happens is they don't pick up the pilot, the network doesn't pick up the pilot's dead. Then they get the dead pilot, and they get the creator, they interview the creator of the pilot, the writer of the pilot, and then they do a live stage version of the pilot, like a live read. I don't know if it's a table read. See, this is why I don't remember. I think at some point, I'm pretty sure, I had to double check. I'm pretty sure I saw when they were doing, you know what? I might be thinking of a different podcast called The Thrilling Adventure Hour, because they act out a script from Ben Acker. That's Ben Acker and Ben Blacker. They act out an entire script that's written, an original script from Ben Acker and Ben Blacker, who are two great writers, television writers, and they're very funny and they're very thoughtful. I like them a lot. But they do Star Wars stuff, and I hate Star Wars. You know how I feel about Star Wars. So they do these things, and then what else am I talking about? What am I doing? I'm thrown off by the people calling me, by two different people calling me I haven't talked to a very long time. They do a live save action version of that. But then for Dead Pilot Society, I think they just do a live read version of the pilot. But it's really cool and it's really interesting, and they cast it with a lot of comedians and actors in LA, local comedians and actors, and it's very funny, and it's very cool to see that these pilots are finally getting their chance to shine in the light, even though they were dead. But hearing Adam McKay, he wrote this pilot, the latest episode, I think it's called Red State Blue State, how it made fun of both sides of the equation for politics, and Adam McKay was just talking about how many, and John August was on it's not Nerdist anymore, the ID10 podcast with Chris Hardwick, talking about how when he's written maybe 50 things and maybe 17 of them have gotten made, but he's written 50 things. Either he's been hired to write this movie or to rewrite a movie or to write a show or rewrite a show and do all this stuff, and sometimes and a lot of times they just don't get made. And then hearing Adam McKay talking about this pilot, you really get a little bit scared because someone like me, I have what I believe to be great ideas, what I believe to be different, interesting ideas, but then you just have to realize sometimes these things don't get made. But I highly suggest If you're just even somewhat sideways interested in these types of things, go in the industry, into writing and anything, and just learning how about things work. Listen to the writers panel. Listen to Dead Pilot Society. They're both great resources. John August is great. Go check out his blog, the John August blog, I believe, johnaugust.com. He does a podcast called Script Notes. It's great. I love it all. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to hang up. Every podcast is a phone call. Should I rent Daddy's Home too? I don't want to support Mel Gibson. I just don't like him. I want them to do a Daddy's Home and Bad Moms. I hope they're in the same world, and I would love for them to do a Daddy's Home, for just Will Ferrell, Mila Kunis to get together, do a Daddy's Home, Bad Moms crossover film. And that should come out this year. If they're smart, they will do that, because they did last year. Bad Moms Christmas and Daddy's Home 2 came out within weeks of each other. And that happened 2 years ago when the movies came out. When the first movies came out. They need to do this. Do it. It is the smartest thing you can possibly do. It's the smartest thing you could possibly do. It's to put these two movies together, and they want to do a Bad Moms universe. They want to have bad dads. They want to have what's it called? Bad kids. I don't know. I don't know. But they should definitely do that. Bad Moms was filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. I just want everybody to know that. Look, I understand that these things are hard to make, but get together. STX Films is who distributed Bad Moms Christmas, and I believe it was Gary Sanchez Productions, yes, for Daddy's Home 2. They need to get these movies together, because it will be, I think they could have, look who will start. They have, in Bad Moms Christmas, they had the moms come out from the moms of the moms. It's crazy. No one cares about these things but me. Come on. I would do it. That's how I would do it. If I was Mr. Entertainment, that's how I would do it. I would say, all right, guys, you know what? Let's make a Bad Moms and Happy Dads, Daddy's Home movie sequel. And they can call it Bad Dads. No. Bad Moms, Daddy's Home. Bad Moms Are Home. Bad Moms Are Home. There you go. And I guarantee that will make more money than the Black Panther movie. I laughed too hard. Black Panther movie made $200 million in its first weekend. I doubt a Daddy's Home Bad Moms crossover. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. This podcast did cheer me up. Doing this right now did just cheer me up, because I'm just talking into a mic and I'm really spitting the stuff. It's real fun. And I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to edit that point from earlier. That's too much work. If you like this, you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where we got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can get our premiere show, News Time, this week's episode. It's a weekly show, 52 episodes a year. You get 52 episodes a year, often over 8 minutes long each. So this week's episode is about, like I said earlier, Ryan Murphy, Shonda Rhimes, and Robert Kirkman going to streaming platforms as opposed to staying with their cable and broadcast brethren. They all left for different reasons. Shonda Rhimes left because she was burned out on ABC. They're only paying her $10 million a year. She made 9 shows. 9 shows, and only one of them was canceled. 9 shows. And a lot of them lasted over 4 to 5 seasons. That's crazy. And ABC only paid her $10 million. Good Lord. Ryan Murphy, 2 weeks ago, he says, hey man, Disney signs up with Fox, Fox signs up with Disney, I'm gonna leave. And he was seeking $100 million, only $100 million. Netflix signs him up last Tuesday for $300 million. Netflix is paying Shonda Rhimes after she signed with them to Netflix a couple of months ago. They did not release the details of how much she was getting paid. Some people, Variety figured it out. The Washington Journal, Wall Street Journal. Jesus, Wall Street Journal figured it out. She's getting $100 million. and their deals are the same. She has a 4-year deal with Netflix. He has a 5-year deal with Netflix. It's the same thing, and he's getting 200 million more. And both of their contracts were up at the end of the summer. That's crazy how she's getting paid less and how she has more hits than him, and she is getting paid less than him. That is insane. I don't understand how that is happening. And I don't understand how people are just happy with this. No one is talking about this. Anyway, I don't know how much Robert Kirkman is getting. He has a first look deal with AMC. I'm sure it's not much, but I'm sure AMC is going to pick up whatever he talks about. But that's insane. And I think Ryan Murphy has less shows than Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Land, she has the highest rated, basically hour-long dramas on network. And she's getting paid a third of what Ryan Murphy's getting paid. Insane. Crazy. Anyway, go watch. But the episode is about why they moved to streaming platforms. Oh my God. I'm worked up. I'm very mad that this is a thing. I don't understand why she's getting paid less. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I really appreciate you if you even got this far. And you know what? I guarantee the 7 subscribers, I'm one of them. I'm the only one that got this far. So anyway, thanks, Chad. Bye. Hey, is this thing on? Anyway, hi. Hey, everybody. This is your host, Chad White. I forgot to do one thing. I had an interview with Randy and Jason Sklar, the Sklar Brothers. I had an interview with them to talk about the movie Poop Talk. And if you don't know, Poop Talk is a movie featuring all of your favorite comedians like Kumail Nanjiani, Nikki Glaser, Nicole Byer, Andrea Rosen, Brent Weinbach, Pete Holmes, Adam Carolla, and they're all talking about the thing that nobody wants to talk about, poop. And I was lucky enough to get a screener for the movie, saw it, and I liked it a lot. It's very funny and very informative. And I was also lucky enough to talk to the executive producers who happen to be the Sklar Brothers. They were talking about this movie on Dumb People Town, their new podcast on, and they've been talking about it. And honestly, I didn't want to watch it, and then I got a screener. I said, all right, I guess I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm great. I had a great time talking to them. So I talked to them on Valentine's Day, and actually, that probably might be the fastest turnaround for any interview I've ever done. Talked to them on Valentine's Day. 2 days later, I put it out on Friday, the interview, and I liked it a lot. I talked to them. It was great. It was so cool. We stayed on topic, and Randy and Jason are such great guys. Oh my God, there's a truck passing, and it's so loud. And I hope this mic didn't pick up. I have to record this. I'm literally at work right now. And I'm just trying to, I'm not near a microphone. I am near my laptop, but I'm not near a microphone, so I can't record anything in high quality. Hopefully this sounds good. If it doesn't, I don't care. Anyway, so stay tuned and to the end of this episode to listen to a snippet from that interview. And go ahead and read the interview. Go watch Poop Talk. You can buy it or rent it right now, video on demand, or go see it in theaters if you're in one of the many cities that it's playing in right now. It's a wonderful movie, wonderful people. I love it so much. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know why I'm still talking. I'm just in a talky mood, very talky mood right now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so stay tuned for a clip. Okay, bye. For real this time. Bye. What is the worst place that you have walked into or suffered through in order just to poop in public?
When we went to Turkey, we traveled through Turkey in college. We were studying in Israel, and we went on a 14-day trip through Turkey. And there was a bus stop on the way from, where were we? We were in Istanbul down to a place called Pamukkale, and we drove a bus 12 hours. And they're like, this is a rest stop where there were poo holes in the ground, the thing for your feet, and then you squat down and poo in a hole. And it was one of these places where we rolled up to this place at 3 a.m. Everything was dark. Everything was shuttered. The second we got there, it was like a Turkish disco. The garage doors went up, there was food, they were selling this, they were selling that, and then the bathrooms opened up for people to use them, and I went into the bathroom, kind of like Pete Holmes when he went to, I think in Africa. I just went into the bathroom and I was like, I'm like, are there people decaying in these holes? What is happening here? It was the smell of death.